What's up, fools? I'm back, finally, with another episode, and I'm sorry it took me so long. I'll go over that in a bit. But, yes, it sounds like a jet, which is kind of what I'm going for, because that means I'm making some greens, you know? But it's not really green, because it's an electronic currency. Alright, you get my point. So, I finally have it running, and, I know I haven't talked much about the card, but I did say it's making me about $1 a day, and looky there, earlier it was making me about 98 cents a day, but, yeah, market fluctuates a bit, so, yeah, it's making about $1 a day. You probably saw it, it's a HD 59 something serious. I don't even know what you would say, 5,900. But the card itself is actually a HD 5970, which is a older card, and it consumes a crap ton of power, which I don't pay for power. I was talking to my parents about, you know, if I get enough money, I'll start buying some solar panels. And, you know, it's making $1 a day. I actually just had, I'm gonna upgrade this in next update, which won't be for like another week or two, because I have to get all that stuff in. All the stuff gets in except the PCIe risers for the new graphics cards I bought, which get in a little bit later. But, I'll go over that in a bit. But I was talking to my parents about, you know, like powering on solar power. I was going to try wind power, because it's like, I'm guessing there's a lot more wind here, and there's some trees outside, a bunch of trees, because I live in a forest. But our house is pretty neat and clean, so I still could be beneficial at using solar power. But if I tried using wind power, there's just a lot of things to do with wind power. You know, like you can get a wind turbine that puts out the same amount of wattage way cheaper than said solar panels that put out the same amount of wattage. There's just a lot of stuff you gotta do and maintain, which, really I'm trying to make this like you don't have to maintain it at all, which isn't going to work, especially with older, like, computer hardware like this. But yeah, my parents are like, hell no, like, like for real. They're like, you know, you can just use our power, and with these new graphics cards coming in, I'm saying it's going to take around 750 to 800 watts, because I got two other graphics cards. I got another HD 5970, yeah, and I also got a HD 6950. And I got those both for a total of around $110, and I had $143, and so I just made a budget with like $3 to spare, buying a power supply, PCI extenders, and another adapter for an 8-pin. So yeah, I'm gonna go talk about that, because this setup is running great right now. The fan speed sounds like a jet because it's at 100%. I also have another fan there. That was just a USB fan I had lying around, so I was like, why the hell not use it? And it's also like a space heater here, because it puts out warm air. I kind of figured that would happen because I'm not stupid, but the odd thing is, and it's not that odd, but the thing is that I've never had a power supply do this. But it makes sense because I've overclocked this card and it's drawing more power than what the graphics card was like. The website for this graphics card said, oh, we recommend this much wattage power supply. And it was like 500 something watts, and this one's a 425 watt. But I checked the amperage lines for like the air utilities, like the SATA cables that plug into this 8-pin adapter. And the amperage lines, you know, support enough wattage to support the graphics card. So, but the thing is that it's actually putting out hot air which may seem normal, but I mean that's because it's on a load, which usually I don't have computers that push the power supplies I have in them. So that was something very odd to me. It's normal, but I don't know, I just want to say that because, like, I don't think it's very it's a very good idea to run off this power supply, which is under the wattage level of what this graphics card recommends. But this other power supply I'm getting in is a server power supply. I actually got it off Walmart, and it was like, oh, like the recommended price was like 30 or 40 bucks. And but it was selling for 16, 17 bucks with a little breakout board and some wires, some 6-pin wires. And so I bought a 6-pin to 8-pin adapter for the Air HD 7950, but the HD 6950 uses only 2 6-pin adapters. So, which I also read that, and also looked up on eBay or Google or where the hell, I don't know anymore, that the HD 6950 is just like is really just an HD 6970, but with a different BIOS that limits the power of it. So I can I can flash it with a HD 6970 BIOS, and it'll produce even more hashing power. Or I could just mod the BIOS altogether, or do both. I'll see about that. But anyways, this Walmart power supply, it was a server power supply, you know, used but tested. So I don't know. So of course it's cheap, and it was like, oh, shipped from China, but you know it's going to take like a week. I guess that makes sense, because I guess Walmart, being such a big company, could ship things from China faster, but at the same time it kind of didn't, because, you know, when you buy something from China, it usually takes like a year, and you're like, oh, did I get a present? And it's like, oh, no, it's that thing I ordered like 3 years ago. But, I'm not sure if it was just came with the breakout board and the, wires for it, the 6-pin wires, because it was like so cheap, you know, it was like 16 bucks, but it was like on sale for 16 or 17 bucks. And also in the highlights, it was like power switching 750 watt power supply, and in the title it never had the words like for the 750 watt power supply. It just said like it never said with either. So I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out in a week. But yeah, these are 2 cards coming in, and with this one I should be mining about $3 a day, but you can see this one's making me $1 a day, as I suggested in last video. But apparently, well, I guess I should have seen this coming, but I didn't. I was hoping to mine XMR with this and overclock it to get about $1.30 a day, which XMR is Monero, by the way. But 2 things went wrong. First off, the Catalyst drivers that this support, the 15.7.1 Catalyst drivers are the only drivers that NiceHash will detect this card with, and the beta Crimson drivers for this card it won't detect. But with these Catalyst drivers, I got every single share I had mining Monero was rejected. And some of these shares mine CAC, which I don't, that's just the algorithm, but I don't know that actually coin. Most of them are accepted, but some of them are rejected. It's only like a 2-point-something% of all my shares are being rejected, so it's really not that bad. I'm still making bank. So, yeah. I don't even know where I was at. I'm so brain dead right now. I'm just so excited because I got these other 2 cards coming in, and I can't wait to do another update video about that. But oh yeah, I'm sorry this took so long. I was supposed to get that card like 2 weeks ago, and I did. Well, first off, the car didn't get there like until 2 days later when it was supposed to get here. And then I plugged in with this cheap PCI extender that was just like a little 1X PCI extender into a 16 times like a little ribbon cable. And it took me a while to troubleshoot why the drivers weren't working, and I thought at first it was a graphics card, but then after some troubleshooting I found out it was a PCI extender, and so I had to buy a new one. So I bought a USB one just for some more flexibility. So yeah, and I also bought another 2 more for those other 2 cards I'm getting in. And so it worked just fine after that. And also, overclocking this card was a pain in the ass because this is a Dell version of it. So I'm guessing like Dell made their own versions of reference cards that you know, Radeon ATI sold them so they could put in their OEM systems for like budget gaming back then, I'm guessing. Well, this is a pretty damn good card for back in like 2009, so I'm not sure if it was exactly budget, but yeah, so since it's Dell, they probably use cheaper materials to make the, you know, the dies or the processors, or you want to call them. And also I looked on GPU-Z and it is Hynix memory, so that's also pretty cheap. And I guess I should have seen this coming, but it likes to crash a lot when I overclock it past like 820 something megahertz. Yeah. No. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I was just thinking hertz for a second. I'd be like, wait, what? But yeah, this new power supply that I'm getting, that's a server power supply, so it should be like, you know, be able to run 24/7, and because that's what they're meant to do and stuff, and it should be more efficient. And so yeah, I'm also glad I don't have to pay for power, because it would cost me a lot to get some solar panels installed. Of course, when I move out of this house, hopefully I don't die here, you know, I'll move into my house and I'll buy some solar panels. But right now, $3 a day is pretty good for, well, $1 a day for a mine rig that costs around $100, pretty effing good. But $3 a day for a mine rig that costs around, let's say, $250 at that point, still pretty good, and I'm happy with that. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next update, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.